What's good, everybody? We are casting game number 1 of 3D Anotand versus Baltune. We have Baltune playing as the Chinese in the north as the in the color green against Anotand as the Rus in the color blue, going for his typical opening. Goes quicker onto the hunting cabin with 4 villagers, builds a scout out of that rather than having that TC delay and TC idle time for making that second scout. On the opposite side, we actually see Baltune going for a greedy single scout opening against the Rus, which really can end up biting you in the ass or can end up kind of playing out well. Obviously, you're going to want to counteract a lot of this bounty, which Anotand already picking up and securing for himself. Baltune, though, able to pick up a solid amount of sheep here so far. Spots out a deer camp on his side and should turn around to pick that up here in just a second. Anotand snagging out all these wolves, and this is going to be about Anotand probably needing to do something against the Chinese as far as disrupting their economy in the long term. Oh my gosh, half a tile away from the God spawn mining camp, almost able to secure gold and stone with one single mining camp, but more importantly, he can secure up this location with a beautiful barbican that protects up, gold, stone, his woodline, potentially a good amount of area that it can end up kind of taking advantage of there. And oh no, Anotand actually able to get over to this second deer camp on Baltune's side, so should be a very, very solid pickup as far as bounty goes for Anotand in this early game. The question's going to be is what can he utilize this gold for in the long run? You can see he's already got wheelbarrow in queue, has plenty of gold still to age up, and still has more bounty to go with this. Baltune just on that supervised mill as expected, should be dropping his Imperial Academy first, and then going for that barbican, most likely near this stone and gold as I had mentioned. And there it is, Imperial Academy going ahead and going down. Kremlin as expected on that initial wood line, securing up the stone as well. But let's see if Anotand does go for that 2 TC opening like you see a lot of Rus players do. You've even seen some Rus players start to transition even more into like the 3 TC openings. So at this point, Anotand, I think, has secured the majority of the bounty on the map. Not too much left other than the boars. So I'm assuming he's at probably a solid 325, maybe 350. 325, look at that. Right on the money there. Kremlin about to finish on up, and let's see if he's immediately going to call the gremlins on in as he gets that first ticket to try to delay some of these timings over on the side of Baltune, or if he saves them up like you see some players do for these timing pushes and all-in pushes that you'll see. And ooh, an additional wolf, and this is super key for Anotand, as now if he picks up double boar, this will allow him to get to 500 bounty, which is that last tier up for the Rus. And oh, actually, I do like this barbican by Baltune as well. We all know China's biggest weak point is typically their kind of middle of the game food economy before they transition onto those granaries. And this is exactly what can help secure that food for the long run. The militia did get called though. They're on their way. They're immediately going to start annoying some of these villagers, but with the micro that these players have, should not be any villagers going down. As you can see, Baltune just pulls back these lower health villagers over to the opposite side. Militia don't have enough time to continue to run around and chase these, and Barbican has finished. Villagers jump inside, and militia will get taken out with those. Good, solid job by Baltune. Anotand is going for that multi-TC build, as we were mentioning out earlier. Does look like he will get that quicker timing down than Baltune, but Baltune, his second TC already will work a lot harder as he is Song Dynasty. He's getting that second Imperial official out, which also boosts all these resources that he's supervising. Heavy transition over onto the wood. It might not seem like Baltune has a lot of resources now, but in the blink of an eye, he will be right up there where he needs to be, and we'll see that second TC not only being dropped soon, but also finished soon because he has that faster build speed. Ooh, good micro by Anotand, just barely able to keep that scout alive. Next two militia have been called, running on a cross, but not really sure where they're going to be able to pressure. Gonna have to run all the way around this Barbican, then try to get to this stone vein, but by the time he's over at the stone, Baltune's going to have more than enough for his secondary TC. Anotand doing the little scout swap, getting his full health scout in there, letting the low health one just slowly recoup. Fortunate for Baltune, this is not a warrior scout, or it would already probably be at 110 health. Vil count just slowly creeping up, even though Anotand has that secondary TC, and just shows you the power of Song Dynasty. Good little delay on the wood line though, as Baltune, he's got the stone needed as Anotand has scouted this out, but clearly does not have the wood yet for that secondary TC, or else he would already be dropping them. Baltune knows not to cause himself any more idle time. Let his town center just finish that last militia off. Moves out and looks to secure up the location I was expecting earlier from the Barbican, now with the secondary TC instead. Good scouting by Anotand on either side, but at the same time, Baltune has been super active with his scout this whole time. Always constantly watching the militia as they come across. He scouted this stone a few times. He'll be able to see this archery range right as it finishes, so knows that pressure will start to come. Double deer have been secured by Anotand, and looks like he is planning on going up to Castle Age soon. In the meantime, Baltune getting those extra eco upgrades in, as he has that Vil lead and should continue to climb with 2 TC Song, so villagers not only going to be in his favor, but also working harder for him. Couple of these archers starting to move across, might try to start pressuring some of these resources on Baltune's side, but he has not archers of his own. He is starting to mass that deadly unit with no counter. Once they have a mass, it's those chooks. Oh, one archer moves up, starts to hit the village. No villagers really over there except for one that is just out of range. Barracks also being dropped, as Baltune is expecting some knights to be coming along soon, but in reality, Anotand's dropping a high trade house. Not sure how great this one's gonna be. He's got both of these smaller wood lines, and he has this little smaller stealth forest as well, but I feel like even with the bigger wood line, it might have been better. Proactive walls being dropped as Baltune knows that one archer is not enough from Anotand and should be expecting something else sooner. So in reaction, he is going ahead, proactively walling for himself. That one archer also over there on the deer hasn't yet found any kills for himself, as you see both destroyed workers at absolutely nothing. Scout coming over to distract that archer. So Anotand has finished up castle. We're about to check in and see how much that high trade house is, but monastery already has finished, so should start to secure relics for himself, and is still choosing knights even though he has that little bit of quicker timing. And triple barracks is already on its way, or already out, I should say. So spearmen going to easily be able to counter this out, and I'm gonna guess like 135. 112. So 112 high trade house. Full walls have basically finished up. I say basically because the last segments that need to finish are right next to the Barbican. So should easily be able to finish, but look at the proactiveness of Anotand. Has a villager already over here, just slow chopping through this tree. One tree's already down. Let's see if he, oh. And look at this. Trying to guard through the chop through. Quick walls. Oh. And the walls, the quick walls stop the chop through, so no knight is going to be able to burn through this. Spears are already on the way, Chooks as well, and Baltune, he delays that crucial timing that was needed and does not allow the knight over and across. Military not able to do anything. Scout spotted out, tried to push on away, stuck inside the wall, so will just need to constantly coyote and loses his life. Anotand has picked up the first relic, is starting to bring it on home, but Baltune, he's been climbing in this Vil lead. Doesn't seem like too much, but 8, 9 Vils, it soon enough will be at 15, 20, and he has already secured himself up, whereas Anotand is out and on these vulnerable resources and going to get even more vulnerable. Oof. Trying to get that wooden fortress down, maybe to secure the boar in the long term, but villagers spotted out. Spears and Chooks chasing down, and Anotand doesn't have a huge military mass here ready to take this fight, especially with veteran spearman upgrade on through. He's taking the fight with knights. He's got 4 knights here, and there's a couple Chooks and a nest of bees to fire down on the ranged mass. It's mainly just knights and 4 archers from Anotand. Use that one of those control all military maneuvers by accident, and other scout has been spotted out. Control all military again. Scout run. No, not to the Barbican. And the Barbican gets the scout kill. Anotand no longer has any vision and knows exactly what Baltune's doing. It's what the typical Chinese players do. It's nest of bees, it's siege, and then it's just spears for the most part to keep that siege alive and running. Couple of archers spotted out, but not really the main force of Anotand. The militia have been called. That's going to be the key. It's this timing push with the militia to potentially take out the spears. And first, he just opts for the nest of bees. Baltune running on away with these spears. Knight circle. I don't know if that's a fight you still want to take, Anotand. He's just trying to slow down the spears from running on away, allow the militia to close as well. But I think Baltune kind of fine with this fight, trading a lot of these spears on away for knights on the other side. Still has a nest of bees behind this. Militia alive for another 30 seconds. Can they find damage? Can they close this gap? 25 seconds on left. Spearman pushing up. Militia at about half health, getting a little bit lower than that. Baltune just needs to remass back up, wait a little bit longer. Spear number is starting to dwindle. Archers are here for Anotand finally, but Nesta Bee's turn. Knights are on top of it. Spear's trying to keep the Nesta Bees alive, but not there in time. Anotand now pushing the base of Baltune. Can he equalize this eco count? Villagers are idled, and you can't forget he is securing relics behind this too. Next Nesta Bees pops out, immediately able to step up. Anotand just steps forward with the archers, trying to get closer to the Nesta Bees, not allowed to fire. Couple of crossbows though, able to thin out the Night Mass, and Anotand losing his mass that's in the base of Baltune. He has been able to at least get that Vil count a little bit closer. 14 villagers idled for Baltune, running lower on the food and making that key necessity of a granary transition. Anotand, though, he also is running lower on the deer, running lower on the food. Looks like he's pushing forward to go for the boar on the eastern side. Still just sticking to knights and archers, and is lacking in the military numbers now that those militia have disappeared. Good amount of resources behind the base or behind the walls of Baltune, and dropping even more granaries, so making the necessary transitions. 2 relics secured for Anotand. Could grab another 2 additional ones. Looks like he's grabbing the 3 sacred sites first, and then we'll finish the gap with the relics. But main fight about to go down in the middle. It's still just all spears, as I kept saying, but finally a few knights or lancers coming out for Baltune. Oh! Archer Mass stepping forward into the crossbow, and Nesta Bees on the other side. A little bit of a bait, circling around. Knights are, but Nesta Bees just steps right back. Nesta Bees, though, hasn't gotten any shots off yet. Knights doing a great job just distracting, allowing these archers to slowly thin out the herd, thin out the mass, and Anotand with the micro circles with another split group of knights, but then takes a fight into the spears, and another Nesta Bees pops out. This is the problem. Every time you pick up one, it's great, but then another one comes right back out, and now the base has been rewalled. Nesta Bees, another one in queue. The first Springled finally arrives for Anotand. This will be the key difference in these fights, as he can force the Nesta Bees back, not allow it to fire on off. Still no boars for Anotand, so no 500 bounty. Okay. Villagers being pulled forward towards that woodline. Woodline has run out. Springled on the other side, but remember, this is a clock tower Springled. You will need more Springleds than just one. And it's not just a 1-for-1 trade. You're going to need about 3 for every 2 that they have. Springled is getting healed up. Additional wall drop by Baltune, so very, very defensive play. And that is the play style of the Chinese. 4 relics. Nope. It's 3 relics for Anotand. Could be the 4th one if he desires. But first, wants the 3rd sacred site and wants to try to wall in Baltune. Look at these walls that are starting to come down on either side. He's playing for the sacred site victory. Not sure if that's a timing play you want against the Chinese, who's sure to start building siege after siege after siege. Boar in the west has been taken. Hopefully Boar in the east will soon to be taken as well. Then Anotand will get that extra skyrocket of boost as the Rus. Still only 2 Springalds for Anotand though, and look at the siege mass on the other side. It's 3 Springalds. You could tell Baltune, he's planning for this siege war, another Springald in queue, so this will allow him to automatically win the siege mass, even more than he already is with Clock Tower Springalds and Clock Tower Nested Bees, but also will allow him to transition to the other necessity of siege when needed, such as Trevs if keeps come up, or just Rams to knock down these walls. Walls being spotted out on the western side as well. Full army mass transitioning to the west. Hasn't yet been spotted out from Anotand. As the Knights, they've been circled. The Knights are circled. This is Anotand's main mass. He knows he just needs to burn this through. He's stuck in a corner, and this is his whole army. Quick wall by Baltune. He corners him maybe even further. What a play by Baltune. Big brain using the Chinese villager build speed, and every single one of those Knights gets taken down. That was so, I mean, that's Imperial Age resources that Baltune just took down. Backup army for Anotand trying to move back that way. Knights have circled to from the east, but I mean, I just feel like this is such a hole. This is such a hard gap to regain, such a hard deficit to fill. Anotand, oh, actually Baltune pushing forward with walls now. Baltune's force just looks a little too big to take right now, and Anotand, as Baltune is starting to push out of the base of the Chinese, he's the one choosing to go up to Imperial Age first. Which is just shocking me. If you look at the force from Baltune, I feel like he can just go steamroll Anotand's base. There's just not nearly enough to be able to defend this. But maybe Anotand is just thinking he has enough time with the way Baltune's been playing. Doesn't know what's on the other side. He doesn't have any scouts anymore. You can't forget that. So doesn't know how much of a force he has to deal with. And there's the keep going down in the middle to secure the 8k gold vein. Not only that, secure the sacred site for himself as well. Couple Knights though deny the keep for the time being. Baltune sending some reinforcements over to that side, and a Great Wall Gatehouse being dropped in the middle, fully securing, guess what, another sacred site for himself as well. Villagers running over to that military, still chasing for reinforcements. Villagers somehow still alive. Main fight going down, and again the siege mass heavily in Baltune's favor. All of the upgrades have come through, or at least the first upgrades, and those are elite archers on the way for Anotand. But all the siege mass has been cleared, and Baltune has a nest of bees firing on the backside, along with all of the crossbows. Numbers still in his favor, waiting for that Great Wall Gatehouse to finish, and numbers still in his favor with 16 militia called. Nest of Bees starting to push Anotand back. The keep in the west is finished, and the Great Wall Gatehouse has finished in the center as well. Look at Anotand pulling 40 villagers to fast build a keep right in front of all this. Imperial Age for Baltune, so matches down the age, and now come all the technologies behind this. As Baltune, he might be lacking in the Vil count number, but now he has regained that map control. Springald's able to fire from a screen away, I believe, as Anotand has the upgrades needed, banded arms. And an additional keep being dropped by Baltune. He's just moving all out further and further, breaking out of this wall in that he had for himself. Even though he still has resources behind it, he knows he needs to secure the next ones. First objective, next set of stone, already secured the next gold a while ago. Eco's basically even, but military just so much in Baltune's favor, and that was just that massive knight pickup and fast wall that he had earlier that we saw. There's the roller shutter triggers coming in for Baltune. Bunch of palace guards. Anotand going for those heavy gold units, Streltsy and Mass Siege. It just takes a lot to get up to the numbers that you need. In the meanwhile, Baltune, he's sending these palace guards to go do some raiding. They are a little bit quicker, a little bit more efficient. And there we go, starting to cause some idle time, splitting up, gonna go to that backside gold or maybe backside TC. He has reclaimed the stone that Anotand was on for just a brief bit of time. And oh no, you already know what's coming. The Imperial Palace, first thing is watch the amount of vision this is going to give to Baltune once it finishes. He's already got a good amount all over the map because of these keeps that have been pushing out. You can already see how much damage that keep is doing for himself, but look at this vision. He sees everything. That's unreal. Sees every single farm, knows exactly where to raid, knows exactly what he needs to do. Also allows him to have some fire lancers on out. Bombard starting to try to take down the keep on the other side. And Springeld's just utilizing that mass, utilizing that range, pushing forward. Anotand not paying attention, loses a cannon. Only has one Springled on his side and just lacking in these military numbers, trying to deal with raids, trying to deal with stuff all over the map. Baltune starting to pressure 5 different places. Bombard just trying to take down this keep, only a few spears chasing it down. There's villagers literally just healing it up, and this is in range of the Great Wall Gatehouse. Palace guards, but I knew it. It's time for fire lancers being transitioned, and farms are about to start being raided. There's still more palace guards on the backside. Anotand, he throws in the towel. Game number 1 goes over to Baltune.